Hello, everyone. Welcome to Celsius 233, your go-to place for fiction book summaries. Today we will unravel the story Within Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. Me Before You by Jojo Moyes, published in 2012, is the first part of the Me Before You series. This poignant and deeply affecting romance explores themes of love, choice, and self-discovery. Set in a small English town, it follows the life-altering relationship between a quirky young woman and a paralyzed man with a cynical outlook on life. Plot summary. The rain poured heavily that morning when Will Traynor, a successful and adventurous man, set out into the bustling streets of London. As he dashed across a slick road, oblivious to the danger, a speeding motorcycle collided with him, forever altering the course of his life. Once a man who thrived on adrenaline and boundless opportunities, Will was left paralyzed from the neck down. The vibrant existence he cherished slipped away, leaving him confined to a wheelchair and consumed by despair. 2 years later, in the small, unassuming town of Stortfold, Louisa Clark found herself jobless and adrift. Her quirky clothing and warm personality made her a standout in the quaint cafe where she worked, but when it shut down, Lou faced the harsh reality of her limited prospects. Burdened by financial pressures at home, she reluctantly took a job as a caregiver for Will, a man whose sharp wit had grown caustic in the shadow of his misfortune. Lou's introduction to the Traynor family was far from smooth. Camilla Traynor, Will's elegant and controlled mother, exuded an air of expectation that unsettled Lou. She soon met Will, who greeted her with biting sarcasm and a distant demeanor. Despite his indifference, Lou's innate cheerfulness persisted. The stark contrast between her vivacious spirit and Will's brooding presence set the tone for their early days together. As the weeks passed, Lou discovered the depth of Will's bitterness. Once an ambitious man with a thriving career and a globetrotting lifestyle, he now viewed his existence as a shadow of what it had been. Even small pleasures seemed futile to him, and his moments of clarity only deepened his longing for the life he had lost. Lou, however, refused to let his grim perspective extinguish her determination to make his days brighter. Their tenuous relationship began to shift when Lou stumbled upon a secret that would change everything. Overhearing a conversation between Camilla and her husband, Stephen, Lou learned that Will had given his parents a 6-month deadline. He intended to travel to Dignitas, a Swiss clinic that specialized in assisted death. The revelation shook Lou, who was both horrified and galvanized. Unwilling to accept his decision, she resolved to show Will that life, even in its altered state, could still be meaningful. What followed was a series of carefully planned excursions designed to reignite Will's zest for life. From outdoor concerts to racing across castle grounds in his adapted wheelchair, Lou pushed herself to find experiences that might stir his buried enthusiasm. Yet, each effort met with resistance. For every fleeting smile or moment of joy, Will's sadness loomed larger, a reminder of the stark limitations he faced. Lou's determination extended beyond her professional duties. She delved into books, websites, and support groups for people with disabilities, determined to understand Will's world. Despite her inexperience, her warmth and dedication began to chip away at his defenses. Will, in turn, saw in Lou a potential she was blind to. He urged her to broaden her horizons, leave the sleepy town that had held her back, and seek out the opportunities she deserved. Their banter grew lighter, their connection deeper, and something fragile but profound began to blossom. Amid their growing bond, Lou's personal life grew increasingly strained. Her long-term boyfriend, Patrick, was too engrossed in his fitness goals to notice the changes in her. Their relationship, once comfortable, now felt stagnant. Lou found herself questioning her future and the life she had imagined for herself. At home, her family cheered her on but remained oblivious to the emotional toll her new job demanded. As the 6-month deadline approached, Lou orchestrated a grand holiday to Mauritius, a breathtaking destination where she hoped to convince Will to reconsider his decision. The turquoise waters and golden sands provided a temporary escape from reality, and for a time, Will allowed himself to relax. They shared stolen moments of laughter and quiet conversations under the stars. Lou's hope soared as she imagined a life where Will chose to stay, and they faced the challenges of his condition together. Yet upon their return, the weight of Will's choice came crashing down. He admired Lou's efforts and her boundless spirit, but his mind remained resolute. Will believed that his life, stripped of autonomy and adventure, was not the life he wanted to endure. For him, choosing his end was the only way to reclaim control. The day arrived when Will traveled to Switzerland with his family. Lou, devastated but unable to abandon him, joined them. In their final moments together, Will expressed his gratitude for everything Lou had done. He told her that her love and determination had given him a glimpse of the joy he had once known. Lou held his hand as he passed, his expression peaceful for the first time in years. In the months that followed, Lou struggled to process her grief. Will had left her a letter, encouraging her to live boldly and seek adventure. With his words echoing in her mind, she packed her belongings and boarded a plane, determined to honor his memory by embracing the life he believed she deserved. Lou carried Will's legacy with her, a bittersweet reminder that love has the power to transform, even in its most fleeting form. That's all for now. The Journey Through Me Before You series doesn't end here. Check out the rest of the series by Jojo Moyes. You know where to find them. Remember, while our summaries capture the essence, they can never replace the full experience of reading the book. If this summary intrigued you, consider diving into the complete story, buy the book, and immerse yourself in Jojo Moyes' original work. Bye-bye, take care, have fun.